Hello and welcome to DC Figures and Collectibles. My name is Tyler G of Batman Figs on Instagram, as well as Batman TAS Figs on YouTube. And I am joined by my co-host who joins us all the way from Stoke-on-Trent. And you can find him on Instagram at the.batfan. Scott, how you doing?
Hello. Hello to everybody listening and watching. And yes, hello Tyler. How are you doing, man? You good?
I'm doing great. We have a lot of news, a lot of exciting stuff happened over the weekend. Me, you, and Kevin were in constant contact, giving our thoughts.
Yes, we were, absolutely.
It was better than Christmas.
It probably was, wasn't it? I love New York Toy Fair. It's brilliant.
Yes, and a lot of the stuff we saw was brilliant, and I can't wait to get into that. But that'll be
for sure
towards the main bulk of the show. But first, I want to ask if you got any new plastic, because I know last time we talked, you were waiting on some.
Yes,
barely missed it.
Yeah, we missed it by a day, but did receive finally, and I know you did too, the Batman Who Laughs.
Yes.
It was pretty cool. He's a pretty decent figure. Not seen a lot of this guy around, but I really do like him, although I haven't taken a picture of him just yet. The Armored Superman, it looks pretty cool. He's pretty massive.
He looks massive. Look at those ears.
Yeah, the ears are brilliant. And I love the wings as well. Like, they're fully articulated. You can move them in all directions. It's not like they just go up
That's
and
a
down.
lot better than the metal bat or the armored bat.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, he looks pretty cool. Got good articulation on him.
Cool paint.
Hellbat, of course, which I know I can see him over your shoulder. Hellbat, yeah, he looks pretty cool, and the wings are articulated, and yeah, he's a pretty nice figure, to be honest. Yeah,
it's unbelievable the amount of articulation the guy has.
I mean, I paid $15.96 for this because I got 20% off from Star Action Figures on pre-orders. So how can you not want them for like 16 quid? Brilliant figure.
That brings me up to my first point. For all of you people out there that are debating whether or not you should order them at like $20 or 20 quid on Amazon, I would definitely go that way, because GameStop, for some reason, it charges like $5 more. I ended up paying $30 for that guy.
Yeah.
You got him for half that.
If you're in the UK, go and check out Game, because they've got them in there on the shelves. They have them at my local shopping centre where I work. And yeah, I went and had a look today, and they've got all the pretty much all the wave in there, like Nightwing.
Is that unbelievable to you?
Honestly, it is. I say I've only ever seen like a couple of multiverse figures from Mattel, but McFarlane is showing them how it should be done, which is brilliant. Glad to see the back of Mattel. But yeah, McFarlane doing it properly, actually getting figures on the shelf. You know, we're like a shop.
You've seen more McFarlane multiverse than you've probably ever seen new Mattel.
Absolutely, yeah, 100%. I'm not joking. Yeah, absolutely correct.
That's so weird.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I mean, those figures look great. I'm still tempted by the Nightwing, but I'm pretty happy with what I've got so far. Yeah, there's some pretty awesome figures. I mean, those three are fantastic, but still nothing can top that animated Superman for me. Best figure.
Have you seen the Batman?
Yes.
And Batgirl and all that?
Yes, seen those. I like the Batman. He's okay. His head's a little small, though.
Yes.
Batgirl's too tall for me. I'm really disappointed.
She's a giant.
She's just too tall, man. But I do love the Nightwing, and I think I probably will end up getting him eventually. He's a very, very cool figure.
And well, the fact that I would be justifying it, especially that I got basically the Hellbat half off. Oh yeah.
No, you're quite right.
No, but in turn, did you get any other plastic outside McFarlane?
There's one more figure that I got now.
Stuff?
Now, yes. Well, I was going to say that. Last May, I spoke to a guy who was at 37 Customs, and I was like, okay, I've seen that you do custom stuff, mainly the 4-inch JLU figures, and I saw that he did a custom Condiment King, so that got me thinking if he could make a custom Batman Beyond villain for me, one of my favourite ever villains in Batman media and comics.
Spellbinder?
It's this guy.
Shriek?
Shriek, yeah. So he posted a picture of him on his Instagram.
That is sick.
Yeah, he is.
That's your figure.
Yeah, this is my figure of Shriek. I haven't been able to take pictures yet because this week's been horrendous. But yeah, this figure is pretty freaking awesome. It's fantastic.
Which one do you like more now? That one or your other custom?
Man, that is incredibly tough. And they're both amazing. They really are. They're absolutely amazing. And I've wanted a Shriek figure for ages, hoping DC Collectibles or DC Direct, as they call themselves now, are we're hoping to make one, but of course, as usual, they let everyone down and they didn't do any Beyond villains. So really happy to get this guy. He's fantastic, and definitely do some pictures of him when I got some time off.
You've always cited him as one of your, if not the favorite Batman Beyond figure, or at least a character. Villain.
Absolutely, yeah. He's brilliant, and I always say it, but I love the whole concept of using sound as a weapon. It's fantastic, and he's an amazing figure, and can't wait to see the shooting. It looks like a professional DC Collectibles figure. Like it's unbelievable. What's his name again? Really is Shriek.
No, the guy that made it.
At 37 Customs, check him out.
37 Customs.
He's got his own eBay site as well, so go check it out. Yeah, fantastic.
Well, then this past weekend, last time we talked, and while we were enjoying all the new reveals, we also got to see a weekend theme from yourself and Lewis of the Bat Collector.
Yes.
And you guys, your weekend theme was figures that you don't really photograph. And
absolutely.
Right off the bat, you crushed it. The figure that I wish you did take more pictures of with Rorschach. But look at the reaction. That's how many people love this character. And
it's crazy.
A great spin on it. And you also, that Batman, I think you might have taken one or two that you posted of this guy. So it's nice to finally see him again.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, I was really blown away by the reaction. So thanks to everybody that supported it. But the Batman is amazing, really. And, I got that Batman figure probably about, maybe I want to say like 6-7 months ago, and I've only taken one picture of him, and he's an absolutely fantastic figure, and he's from the Batman Son of Batman, the animated movie. I'm pretty sure that's what it's from. But yeah, he's a great figure, and obviously Rorschach, the DC Essentials, one of the few good ones that they made.
The only figure that could make me spend $45 essentially for one figure.
Yeah, true. It's actually true. So I just set up with a new diorama. I'd got like an indoor.
Look at all these little clues. 5 to midnight, a clock. Yeah, I love all this stuff.
Yeah, the newspaper came with the Watchmen print on it for the diorama. So I was like, this is just fate. It has to happen. the clock's ticking.
But no Dr. Fate in that one.
Unfortunately not. No, I would love to have that figure there.
Now, this is really well done, and even though you have figures from different lines, they somehow seem to just blend perfectly together. So this is just good eye that you have.
There's 3 or arguably 4 different lines there. So you got the DC, I think it's a DC Direct.
When they really were direct.
When they really were direct, and they were actually good at things. That I think that's, I think it is DC Direct, or it might be a DC Collectibles Huntress figure. I know it's definitely from DC Direct or Collectibles, and then Harley from the Arkham City DC Direct line, and then you've got the Arkham DC Collectibles Batgirl, and then the DC Collectibles Arrowverse Black Canary, and they're all brilliant, all the same scale, and they all look pretty good together. They've got that same sort of dark tone, and I'd probably say all 4 of those are my favourite of that character in terms of figures.
I really think that Black Canary figure is going to be a huge collectible just in a few years down the line, because she even has her own show now, the spinoff coming. So
yeah, true. Yeah, absolutely.
And it's just really good looking. I've never seen this figure before.
Yeah, she's a pretty cool figure, I'm not going to lie. But I mean, out of those, I love the Huntress and Batgirl. That Batgirl is one of my all-time favourite figures, never mind Batgirl.
Now, well, with all the new Batman stuff in the media and all the different looks, we get to see the true Year One outfit, and it's from Mattel. You also mixed in the Greg Capullo Director Series DC Collectible Joker, or whatever they called him, Red Hood Gang Leader.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. And this was a picture I've wanted to do for a while, but never got around to doing it, hence the Forgotten Figures theme idea for it. So finally sat down and did this picture. I love both these figures a lot. Both are completely flawed and pretty rubbish, but they're both brilliant at the same time, to be honest. So, yeah, the perspective was tricky on this one. It doesn't look like it, but Batman's literally stood directly behind Red Hood. Red Hood's foot is literally touching Batman's cape, and you wouldn't think it from the.
So did you use a long lens?
I just put the lowest aperture I could possibly find on it. I think it was about 4 in the end, or 3.5. So it just blurred Batman a lot more, and creates a bit more depth on it.
It looks like it is a lot of depth. It looks like there's nowhere near him.
Yeah, I just put the camera quite far back and put the aperture as like as small as I could.
And that figure too, for anyone that's debating whether or not they should get that Red Hood figure, it's not just good for that Red Hood figure. It comes with another Red Hood gang head, and it comes. I think it's good for customs too. I made a Batman Who Laughs figure out of that thing.
Yeah, and you made
just cut that off.
You used the helmet of the Red Hood gang for some Red Hood pictures of Robin animated style, so that was pretty cool.
It's one of my favorite figures. Even though you said like it's really flawed, not a lot of articulation, it's brilliant for the accessories.
There's virtually no articulation. It's a weird scale, but it's brilliant. It really is.
Speaking of brilliant, this is something that you call mood and atmosphere and just perfect lighting. This is probably one of my all-time favorite pictures that you've done, just because of how simple it is, but how beautiful it is.
Thank you. That's really kind, and it very sort of Hush inspired this one, and I really love this figure a lot. It's amazing, and I don't take anywhere near enough pictures of it because it's beautiful. It's one of them again. Like I think it was probably a flawed figure, but it's just so beautiful looking. I've always been a guy that favors sculpt over articulation, and I think this figure is the embodiment of that. I really do. It's just such an insane figure. I absolutely love it.
And the best thing too is that not only is it a retro figure that people recognize and love, but you're able to showcase it in a way that it looks this well. And you're bringing, like, you look at these comments and there's people like, oh man, this is the first Batman action figure I bought as an adult. Bought them at Toys R Us. And like the other one, Blast from the Past. So you're giving people the nostalgic feel, but also wowing them. It's like, dang, that's how it needs to look. So I think that's brilliant.
People say things like that. Yeah, I do love that figure a lot.
Yes, you really did the colors perfect. It just looks so much like the movie. I enjoy this one a lot.
Inspired a lot by the poster, to be honest. I said before I posted it. I sent it to Lewis and asked what he thought of it, because he's the Spider-Man correspondent between us. Definitely, but so I wanted to have a go of just doing a different picture with this figure. And obviously, the last time we did Forgotten Figures, I featured him, and I hadn't taken a picture of him since, and I'm a bit ashamed by that, to be honest, because he isn't a brilliant figure just because he's Marvel. I don't take pictures of him that I probably should, because he's freaking amazing, and that Tobey Maguire trilogy is just insane. It really is.
Yeah, and it's talk about the perfect blend at a time when you could have just gone CGI, where Sam Raimi did a perfect mixture of practical effects with CGI.
Yeah,
it still holds up today.
So true. Yeah, absolutely.
And I also love back when you did the other first round, you showed the Green Goblin. That was a lot of fun. And again, you see the comments. I own this guy way back when I was 8. Blast from the Past. This isn't. Are we out of them?
That was the last one. Yeah.
Well, what do you think of her?
I haven't actually got her here with me because she's up there and she's behind Batman, Lantern, and Superman, so I don't want to knock them all over. But she is awesome. I was most impressed by her actually out of all the new McFarlane stuff, but I think probably because I didn't have any expectations of her. I just thought it's another Harley, and it was very, very, very close to not buying her. But I thought, no, do you know what? I'll get her because she fits in scale with the others animated stuff, and I'm really glad I did, because I love the articulation she has on there. I know I prefer sculpt over articulation, but I think for this figure it's just brilliant, and I love the mallet she comes with. The gun's brilliant. Head sculpt's fantastic.
These really add a lot to the figure. This 2 points articulation.
Yeah, they really do. Yeah, it's perfect, and she's such a cool figure. I love her. Brilliant.
You're going the wrong way, computer. All right, now this one. This is what I really like. Head swaps, that things you wouldn't think of, end up looking really cool.
Yeah, well, this Mezco had a picked up on eBay from a seller in the US. He was just selling a loose Mezco Sovereign Nighthead. So it was like, I'm not interested in that figure one bit, but I do like the head sculpt from it. So I've got that, and I thought it'll look all right on the Arkham Batman. It does look okay on it. It fits. It's the
best version I've seen of this like a using of that head sculpt, and I felt like being a sarcastic prick and putting like, man, I wish I could see more versions of this picture taken, because I just feel like I've seen it so much lately. But
it's true.
You actually did it really well, and I like this look better, especially because it probably looks how the movie's gonna look.
Yeah, well, that's it. And yeah, I can't wait. I hope we get a game of this. I really do. But it's just a shame it's not going to be in the Arkham verse.
Ooh, and then these last three. I'm not going to skip these. I love the way you did the framing on this, because it's hard as crap to try to fit these in. So this is brilliant, and I like how you framed him.
You're not kidding. You're not kidding. I mean, originally I just took it with Batman there and no dark side, but it didn't quite look right. So decided to add dark side into the picture. It's that dark side's pretty amazing. Yeah, I just put a red.
It looks like he's pissed off and wants to just shoot him behind his back.
Yeah, I added in like a red light on the front of Batman, and it just lit up all those red parts like a Christmas tree. It was brilliant, and it just glows really nicely. And yeah, put some red lighting around him, and yeah, it worked out. It worked out okay, I think. Just added a bit of warmth into the edit of the picture.
And also, I like the way you framed it, because it showcases the cool claws, because it's close to Darkseid's face, so it naturally draws the eye to all the cool parts of the figure.
Yeah.
JC Malone says
cool.
that. And then this is a bloody brilliant figure. This custom.
Man, yeah, at VinFaith Custom painted the head sculpt that was cast by at Action Figure Custom. He's got some new stuff on his eBay, so check that out. And yeah, this figure's amazing, and the neck head was always going to be fantastic, but I think this one just is a little bit better scaled, so been using that, and I love the shine it produces, like the Batman Returns shine. And then just mixed up the two new dioramas, put the street diorama outside, and then they used the indoor diorama with the Joker teeth from the Mezco figure.
He's probably thinking like, what? Those teeth again?
It's like sort of that same emotion you have in the Arkham games, like, oh, it's fucking Joker teeth again. Beginning to really piss me off.
And then what you said was your favorite, and you really used this accessory perfectly.
Yeah, well, you on the last episode you challenged me to use it, so I was like, I'm gonna have to try and fit it into a picture this week. And then I took this picture, was going to use it like on Monday or Tuesday, and then saved it back for this theme, which we've begun tonight with Lewis of At the Back Collector, which is a superpowers theme. And
again, what people probably wouldn't notice right away is they probably would just go, oh, this is really cool. Look at that dark side. Look at Superman. I love animated Superman. But what you did was you showcased something that DC Collectibles does not have on these figures, or the figures they made, and that's the butterfly joint, and the way that he's like, he really looks like he's reared back about to throw a punch.
Yeah, that's it. And butterfly joint's brilliant. The diaphragm joint is great as well. The double knees are brilliant. I actually really like that all the joints are on like a ratchet on these figures, because they stay in place, then they don't flop over. You know, when you balance them, they'll stay in place, whereas like the DC Collectibles ones, because the joints are smooth, they got a serious they got a serious habit of just falling over for no reason, and they can't hold their own weight. But the McFarlane ones kind of can. Sometimes it can be awkward because they're on a ratchet, so it doesn't quite balance at first, but once you get them in that pose, you know they're not going to fall, which is great.
That is a plus. It is annoying at first, but once you get used to it, it is a plus.
Yeah, but I absolutely love the Superman figure in the dark side too. Absolutely brilliant.
You showed off the Green Lantern. You got in a Batman vs TMNT. You got in a Hot Toy. You basically did every check mark that you could have.
Well, purposely trying to mix it all up, you know, like with Hot Toys, DC Directs, Mayfex.
There's no way anyone could guess the next picture.
Yeah, that's what I want to just continue doing. Just mixing it up and doing different things all the time. And particularly want to take more pictures of that Hot Toys Batman. Absolutely, because he's just an unreal figure. He really is.
It really is fun seeing when like you post this, and I'm like, first thing in the morning, it feels like I'm there with him. Just in the,
so I took that picture at 6 a.m. on a rooftop. That was good fun.
No one saw you?
No one saw me. I was just left alone to take some pictures, which was great.
Peaceful.
Fun. Love it. Best way to be. So, what new figures you picked up this week then? We've been talking about new stuff I've got. What new stuff have you got?
One bad boy.
I mean, the Hellbat is a sensational figure, isn't it?
Just put him on your chest. He looks like a bat symbol. Yes, and I took 2 of these versions because I didn't know which one to do. And like I told you in a direct message, it's like getting this figure, you just get flooded with a bunch of different ideas. Like, oh, I could put the DC Collectibles old man Bruce Wayne and do something funny with Terry because it kind of looks like a Batman Beyond. You could do middle-aged Batman. Does. I put on the old Mattel one, and I think that just looks epic.
Yeah, and that head sculpt looks perfect for that Batman.
And it's one of the rare times I could use it because I sold those Mezco, so I don't really have any purpose for that guy anymore. But yeah, like everything you said about this guy, I echo. Like you light this guy up, and these seams, it looks like it's what it's supposed to do in the comic. It's like heat inside that thing. So the lighting is perfect. The mixture of gloss and matte, the articulation, the wings. You could do so many things with just the wings. A bunch of different figures.
It's incredibly true. It is incredibly true, that is, and I particularly like the scale of it. To be honest, it's been criticised. Yeah, it's been criticised a lot, but I mean, when you put him next to the Mezco Darkseid, I think that's a good scale that they've got next to one another.
Yeah, and he's purposely supposed to be a little bit bigger. He's supposed to be taking on a freaking god.
Exactly. Yeah, he's supposed to be enormous and an absolute tank. It's the way it's supposed to be.
And I do love that it gives Batman Beyond vibes. I just love that red.
It really does, yeah. I love the articulation, which you can see here on this picture. Brilliant. It's
really incredible how they're able to do that.
Yeah, it's an absolutely phenomenal figure, and for 20
completely different than Mattel's version of the Dark Knight armor, which is basically a shampoo bottle. I can't move it.
Yeah, it's so true. It's actually so true. So the other picture I wanted to talk about this week, which I thought was a fantastic idea, saw that yesterday, which was the instant reminder of the first appearance of Scarecrow.
I wanted to do this a while ago, and I didn't know if it would pay off because people tend not to just like the back of figures, but I decided to do this as just a random post because the people that love this episode and love BTAS will know instantly where it's from.
Yeah, that's it. And instantly I recognised where this was from. And I'm interested, what bat did you use for that picture?
That is from, and like you, I was a big fan of Spider-Man growing up. So I had a bunch of Spider-Man action figures growing up. And this was an accessory that came with Morbius, the living vampire.
Oh, cool.
Which is getting a movie this year.
That's
by Jared Leto.
Yes. Yeah.
And I've used him in a few pictures, like a Batman Mask of Phantasm, where they come out of the cave and that sort of thing. But this one, there's 2 pictures. At the first picture, there's nothing there except for him, and there's Batman in the far corner behind the smoke. And then the second picture, I put that bat on a coat hanger that I stuck through the sewer thing that's on the ready sets. And then I just cut that off and then just lined it up with Photoshop so it looks like it's floating there. And I had to do this through 2 pictures to get the lighting to match up.
It's funny you should mention that because I've just noticed the Batman in the background. I didn't even see that. That's amazing.
That's what I wanted. I wanted that to be a treat for people that ever look back like, what?
Oh, that's awesome. I didn't notice it on my phone, but now it's on the computer and the bigger screen. That's amazing. I didn't notice that.
See, and that's another thing I struggled with because there's a couple versions where it's a little bit more clear, and I was just like, I don't want to be too obvious. So
yeah. Oh man, that's fantastic. I really like it even more now having seen the Batman there, and yeah, it's fantastic and a great accessory as well. I mean, Jared Leto is one of the few people I actually don't blame for going over to Marvel after how DC treated him. I actually don't.
Yeah, they did treat him like toilet paper.
A nice bit of a scale comparison here, a very subtle scale comparison, which got a huge reaction from people, and understandably so. This is a brilliant picture.
I'm glad you like it. And this is one where I thought in my head, I was like, would this be too dumb to do? Will this be like, but then I'm just going to do it. Who cares? If it's dumb, I can delete it.
I particularly enjoyed that you used the grey Batgirl as well. I think that's quite cool. And I love seeing the mix of sort of the animated New Adventures, JL. I think, and to be honest, like all those figures you got in that picture are my favourite figures of those animated characters. Because I don't like the New Adventures Batgirl. She's head's too big, but I love this figure the BTAS Batgirl, the colours, something about the grey Batgirl suit looks really good on animated figures.
Yeah, and I wanted to make sure I also matched up with the McFarlane one, and I did get a few people give me mean comments, but I thought it looked better, and like what you said with that Batman, I could have gone any number of Batmans, but there's something about those ears. I love those ears.
I particularly enjoy the comment of why is Barry so short and you saying ask DC Direct. I think it's a superb way to respond.
I love when people ask me these questions. I don't sculpt the figures and I don't do this. I just take photos.
I know, yeah. That's the problem. Like, people forget, hang on a minute, we don't actually make these figures. If we did, it might be different.
They'd be a lot cooler.
That isn't how it works, unfortunately. Yes, we got a couple of brilliant Robin pictures this week as well. So Robin's Reckoning is
my fourth attempt at this version.
I think this is my favourite. I really like the sort of the sort of grim atmosphere around the picture, because that is obviously a very sort of poignant moment in the animated series, really, especially for Robin, of course. I mean, it's what made him. But yeah, it's a fantastic picture. I love this one as well. I mean, this is brilliant.
That's I took that when I first got the bike, but I never used it for an episode shot. So I was like, I gotta use this for an episode shot.
Yeah, it's brilliant, guys, and so cool. Robin
giving Zuko
a cycle,
giving him a road wedgie.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. He's gonna have a sore ass after that. It's not going to be nice. I've got to love a bit of Joker as well.
Yes, I don't use that guy enough. He's the hair alone. I'm really proud of it. I'll never get tired of the hair. I don't know how it ended up working out, but
finally got the Joker DVD and watched it last Sunday, I want to say.
Oh,
yeah, brilliant. Absolutely loved rewatching it. It's just such a great movie.
Did you watch it with the parents?
My dad said I couldn't convince my mum. She's a big wuss. She doesn't like films like that. But me and my dad sat down and watched it. Oh, he loves it. Yeah,
good.
He loves it. It's fantastic, and yeah, he's brilliant. My dad's a big Jack Joker fan as well, so
that's impressive. Then
yeah,
that just shows how good Joaquin is.
It does. No, it really does. Yeah, it's massively impressive. A massively impressive film, and just continues to blow you away every time you rewatch it. It really does. And I want to share this final picture of the McFarlane stuff. It's brilliant.
That it's so easy to pose, like you said. Like, there's no way I would have been able to pose that Joker if he didn't have toe articulation. But because he has toe articulation, it looks like he's naturally walking down the stairs.
It does, yeah. He's a great figure, that Joker is, and he's currently photobombing this picture, as I've just noticed. Yeah,
that's funny.
He's brilliant. Joker is, yeah. I really like the head sculpt on him. He's got such cool details on the head sculpt of the figure, and Todd McFarlane himself was talking about it at Comic Con. I saw on the live video they did.
Wasn't that cool?
Do you know what? I really appreciate that kind of stuff. I think
he actually looks to be talked to. He's not hiding or shrinking away.
Absolutely, yeah. And I've seen a lot of people criticizing McFarlane, which we'll come on to later. But I think it's great that he comes on and talks about these things and communicates with fans and the passion that he has, for it. Whereas you look at DC Direct and their sort of way they set up, you got the raving lunatic Jim Fletcher, who needs, we need to start our own hashtag of Fletcher out, because he's just an absolute idiot. It really is.
Yes.
Don't like his creative direction at all. It's terrible. But yeah. Anyway, we'll come on to those again a little bit later.
Yes.
But yes. Anyway, finishing off, really do like that shot, and a great example of the ready sets as well. Extreme sets.
Yeah, the extreme sets. There, like we talked about last time. We all need to take more photos.
We do. Yeah, I completely hold my hands up to that. I absolutely do as well. Yeah, it's brilliant.
Well, I'm glad that you liked it, and I'm thinking you should get the Nightwing. I think you'll like it.
Yeah, I really am tempted by. Oh, actually,
if not for the head sculpts,
I did want to mention that one. I love the effect you've got with the sort of the mist coming out of the vent on that. That is brilliant.
That was a lot of fun to do, and that was one that that's my favorite. Like probably up there with Clayface, Feet of Clay. It's one of the best episodes. The whole thing is brilliant.
Couldn't agree more. It was brilliant. This episode, this pitch and stream, just such a weird but amazing episode.
Yeah, and if any of you have never seen it, just go see it.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely should go and see it.
If you ever want to see what Bruce Wayne looked like for being happy for like a split second, you'll get to see it.
That's unbelievably weird, isn't it? But brilliant at the same time.
Okay, so are we ready to get into the big thing of this week? The Toy Fair, all the reveals?
Let's do it. Absolutely. Got notes on some companies here and looking forward to moaning and groaning and praising some different things that have been shown.
Okay, so what do we want? Do we want to do? Just go right into DC Direct first?
Let's do it. Yeah, let's do it.
Or we were calling it in the message DC Directionless. Which we never know what they're doing.
Tyler's creation, that one. I really enjoyed that.
And yours was the hashtag Fletcher out, which I want to use.
Yes, Fletcher out.
He does have an Instagram, so we should just start tagging him.
He's just utterly stupid. Utterly stupid.
Yeah. Well, what we saw, and there's a bunch of, still there's some questions and things that they show, but they showed a lot of the figures that we've seen before, and initially people might have thought they're repaints, and then there's things saying that they're just out there to be shown, which that's even lazier. But for me, the standouts that I saw from the Batman Adventure Continues line was the Thomas Wayne Flashpoint Batman. Awesome.
Yeah, agreed. Amazing.
The Batman Who Laughs, the animated version, and the Talon.
Yeah.
Those are like the three where I was like, okay, those are definites. And everything else, I put in a post that if what they're showing are a lot of repaints, and if they're going to do the repaints, I'm actually okay with that because, my figures tend to break down over a while. But if they're just being out there to be shown just because they didn't have anything for decoration, then that's really bad.
Agreed. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It is just laziness, and it's the laziness that has sort of plighted them for the last couple of years, I think. And yeah, really poor.
So if people paid to go to New York Comic Toy Fair to go see that booth, they essentially paid money to go look at figures that were released around 2015, 2016, 2017.
Well, you paid. The only thing that you saw new was the DC Direct's Flashpoint Batman. I think everything else was already shown prior to that. Everything. Yeah. I don't think anything else, apart from the repaints of Batman, Batgirl, and Nightwing. Not even Nightwing. It was just Batman, Robin, and Batgirl, wasn't it? And that's it. Which is bizarre. I would have liked to see a repainted Nightwing, to be honest. Out of all the characters, he was the one I'd hope for most. But I do like them, and I'll probably get them. But I was hoping they'd do what they do with the Catwoman, where they put an alternate head sculpt in and maybe a couple of different accessories. But I mean, from the looks of it, we'll be lucky to get that. So God knows what's going to happen with it. I hope they do repaints of the Justice League figures when they release them as well. But I can't see that happening now. That would have been amazing to see a Batman with the blue shading on from Justice League. I'd love that, but that doesn't look like it's going to happen. But yeah, I mean, actually, out of everything, my favourite thing that DC Direct showed off was the Red Hood deceased figure, and they didn't even paint him either. It was just a great concept thing. But I think he's going to be amazing if they do a Red Hood deceased figure. He'd be pretty epic to see. That actually
makes sense too.
It does, yeah. I mean, I think him, Joker, and Harley are the ones that you kind of think, okay, that's quite a good idea, and maybe Batman, but rest of them just seem weird, like a Superman with all blood going everywhere, and Aquaman as well. It just looks wrong. But I'm interested to see what they do with the repaints and the future it brings for them. If they're going to repaint the whole line or just key characters. But I just think it's very strange. It sort of echoes of the DCEU, where we have no idea what's going on and what's connected to what.
That's the only thing that is connected, is that they have no idea what's going on.
But it's strange. Like, for the first time ever, I'm not completely on board with buying some DC animated figures, and it's a very strange feeling. I don't like it.
Doesn't it suck?
Yeah, it does. I mean, some of them I'm like, yeah, hell yeah, that's great. Like the Flashpoint Batman Who Laughs, as you mentioned. But then one's like, the Deathstroke and even the Red Hood. I'm not blown away by the Red Hood, to be honest. Animated one. So
there's just a few things I'm just baffled by too, by DC Direct, and that you're showing to people. It's like, well, they were called Direct now, but you basically don't have anything set. You have a few things set up. It seems like you're last minute. It seems like you're lazy, and you're paying people to go out there and basically party it up and have fun. And that's all on your dime that you're flying these people out there. And you're like, that could be money. You could just be like, let's stay here and make figures. And also, I put in the messages we talked about, I enjoy. There's like a part of me that likes the fact that there's figures that are Bruce Timm inspired. But there's also a part of me that feels like it's cynical. They're thinking, oh, these people will buy anything that is in the Bruce Timm artwork, and let's just milk that for all it's worth, and let's raise the prices $5 more. Oh, we'll just turn everything into Bruce. Like, that's the part of me. It's like kind of kills me inside. So it does. I feel conflicted too.
It's true. It's a good point, and I think if they sort of round that off with a comic, it would be a little bit better. But I can't see that they're going to use the character for like Deathstroke, Azrael, and Thomas Wayne Batman all in the comics, and I just think it's a bit, of a fantasy, to be honest.
It would be incredibly shoehorned to have them all into one.
I think it'd be flat out stupid. It doesn't.
Yes.
It doesn't make any sense at all. Yeah. But that DC.
There's only one way I could see that working, and it's if they have Flash go back to Flashpoint or Batman meets him and he tells him about all the different places. Oh, you had a Jason Todd that died. There's but still, it's still bizarre.
I mean, it all comes back to Jim Fletcher for me. He's just a chaotic person, and that DC director in chaos at the moment as well. And they think changing their name back is going to help them sell figures. It isn't. You're doing the same strange things you always have done when you change DC Collectibles. So,
that in and of itself shows that you're kind of being deceptive. Like, oh, we haven't really had the best reputation for collectibles. Let's go back to Direct.
Yeah, it's strange.
You're kind of admitting that you haven't been doing your best.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It is.
DC Direct, everybody. Now to McFarlane Multiverse, because that was actually cool.
Absolutely. Out of everything that was shown, I'd say there's 3 figures that I was blown away by at Comic Con.
I know one of them for sure.
Yes, and 2 of them were the Arkham Asylum Batman and Arkham Asylum Joker. Those 2 were unbelievable. I love them so much. The Batman looks amazing, it really does, and I love the Joker as well. I know some people criticise the head sculpt, and I kind of get that, but I think both look absolutely fantastic, and they're in scale with the DC Direct figures as well, which is fantastic. So really pleased about that, and can't wait to get both of them, especially the Batman. He looks epic. You're gonna have the most complete Arkham game collection in the world. I'm gonna try. But you already have like figures that weren't even supposed to be out. They look amazing. I can't wait to get those figures. I'm so buying them. I can't wait. Yeah, I'm instantly getting them because of all the pictures I've had to put up with and seeing you post. It's like, I gotta get these figures. Yes, and then we also had the White Knight stuff. I think it looked quite good. I quite like some of the Batman especially. I love the rope and stuff on his thigh. I think it's good. Yeah, and the one thing that kind of bugs me about that figure design, and it's not because of the figure, it's because of the person that did the comics. The thigh-high boots are a little weird, but overall, I think the figure is brilliant. I really like the way the sculpt is on the bat symbol. Yeah, and the Joker is brilliant, and you also get a Jack Napier head sculpt. That's the one reason I'd buy it alone. Yep, Jack Napier head sculpt looks brilliant, and I love the long gun as well. Brilliant. And it does look kind of like it could fit in with the DC animated. Like you could do some Mask of the Phantasm photos, right? Oh, brilliant! Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, it's true. So I really like that fact. It's like, thank you. I love figures that come with alternate head sculpts. Yeah, and that Azrael looks good as well. Oh, he looks crazy. He looks evil. Just such a cool looking figure. That sword. It reminded me of like if it was Azrael's Spawn. So you feel like you had a lot of McFarlane influence on that. That is a good point. Yeah, that's a good point. Which I love the Spawn cape, and that's what I also wanted to mention. I'd get the Spawn because there's also a great comic where Batman fights with Spawn. So I get that. And
There is one down thing I would put for McFarlane because we can't give him all the praise. There are a few things I was bothered with.
Yes.
And I mentioned it to you and Kevin, and I just think they showed the repaints where they just showed the alternate versions of the animated Batman and the action or Detective Comic 1000 and or Action Comic 1000. Sorry. And that's the only thing. It's like I get why you do that, and I get why there are people that like that, but why would you show that at a showcase? And we've already seen those figures. You could just say we're going to release alternate versions or show pictures. I would love to see more stuff going down the line. And another thing that just got erased from history, I guess, is where's that Harley Quinn figure, Birds of Prey? She just disappeared.
Yeah. It's very strange, isn't it? Yeah, that is very strange. Yeah, I'd also the Wonder Woman figures. I don't like the regular Wonder Woman. I think she looks pretty rubbish. But then the
face.
armored Wonder Woman is amazing. She looks
and epic. That's weird. How come that face looks so brilliant and you can't put that over on the other one?
It's a good point. And it is strange, isn't it? But yeah, luckily we got the SHF or Mezco to enjoy. But yeah, that multiverse armored Wonder Woman is a must, isn't it? It really is. I think it's a must figure.
Literally a golden trophy.
It is. No, it is. It actually is. It's a fantastic figure.
I'll be really happy the day I find that. Now,
yeah.
Are there any other? Because there's only one company I have down, and that's NECA. I don't know if you have anything else.
There's a few other. I mean, just a quick mention of Storm. They released a new Batman and Injustice figure. He looks pretty good. The Superman looks good as well. I do like that. But had it not been for the figure arts ones, I would have got either one or both of those. And on figure arts, I don't think they showed anything new, did they? At least not DC wise.
Not that I saw.
Mafex, the Shazam looks pretty good. I won't buy it though.
No.
I've gone off it. But Mezco. Wanted to talk about Mezco.
Yes.
I hate that Gold Gomez so much. And if I hear one more person on Instagram say Gold Mez, I'm going to kill myself. Because it's unbelievably annoying, and stop posting these giveaway things as well. Boring.
Everyone wants to give it away. They don't even want it.
Yeah, that said, I've seen people say, "Oh, Mezco, this is an amazing giveaway." Like, you're not going to win. You're not going to win. Stop pandering to them. But yeah, so the three things they re-showed off, sort of thing that I think are amazing. Mr. Freeze.
Yes,
he looks so good. I love the details on that figure. I hated him at first, but now having seen better pictures, I think he looks good. Two-Face looks good. Probably won't buy him, but he looks good. But I will probably buy Mr. Freeze. And of course, the Batman 89. He was the best thing I've seen at Comic Con. Just seeing the one-piece suit in action, it looks insane. I can't wait to get it. It looks.
Have you seen video of them moving it?
No, I haven't seen it.
I want to see if it's stretchy or if it's whatsoever.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, isn't it?
And that Two-Face, that is going to be a figure that you really do flip a coin for, I feel like. Because it does look really cool, but do you need it? But it does look cool.
It. I can't think of any photo ideas for it. I like it a lot. I think it looks great, and I may get it like further down the line. But it's a bit like the Green Lantern figure. I just can't think of a way I'd use it or want to use it. I just don't know. It's just one of them figures. I don't think Two-Face figures are very sort of photogenic. I don't think they're not great generally. At least not what I find. But Mr. Freeze figures, I got loads of stuff I can use for that. Accessories and the V-Toys Batman, and there's loads of stuff I could do with that.
The snow globe.
Yeah, exactly. Which I paid $1,000 for. As we always like to joke, but I think Mezco did a pretty good job, apart from the horrific Gold Mez. But looking forward to getting the Freeze and the Batman. I think they look great, and the Stealth Suit Spider-Man looked very, very good as well. I'm really impressed by him. I mean, he looks pretty cool.
That was my favorite suit in that movie, and it really does look cool, man.
It does,
Like with the Two-Face, I really love the idea and the concept behind it, because I do feel like that's more of a genuine what a guy would look like if he wouldn't have purple face. But
it's true, yeah.
If it's around $60, like Catwoman was for a while afterwards, I might snag him.
Yeah, it's a good point. I think price is definitely it's
a big
factor on that. But I hope they get that Mr. Freeze up soon.
I hope so. That looks boss, and I like how it actually makes sense. All the hidden articulation and everything.
Yeah,
and the Batman too. I will want. I know.
Yeah, Yeah, Batman looks just ridiculous. Can't wait to get him. But yeah, as you mentioned, NECA as well. NECA have done some pretty interesting stuff.
Tons of interesting stuff.
Mm.
And they did it the way you should do it, not the way DC Collectibles attempted to do it a few times with everything.
Yeah.
Like they had full on, like, not just like life-size props of things from different media that you love.
They look so cool.
Yeah, I actually was excited about it. Like, especially seeing the Mr. Freeze gun. Like that thing looked amazing.
I love the Vicky Vale grapple
flower
thing.
Oh, that thing, yeah.
Yeah, the saving Vicky Vale thing. Oh man, that was so cool.
The zip line.
Yeah, it looks so sick.
Yeah, and I can't, like, that is cool because they didn't show one thing and show, okay, we're going to think about doing this. And here's some pictures. They had everything lined up. And that's not just the thing they had. They also had tons of figures and, like, they had everything organized and set up the way you'd want it done. The complete opposite of Jim Fletcher.
Yeah, exactly. And the Arkham Nightwing sticks as well. They look so cool.
Oh, I can't believe everything. Batman Beyond Batarang. They got the 89 Batarang.
Yeah.
Like, that, it seems like it would be collector's heaven, everything that they had. And they have stuff for everyone's fancy. They had horror. They had stuff that people were even older than us would know, like Phantom and Mandrake the Magician.
Yeah,
like these original pulp heroes that like are the reason that we have a lot of these guys. Like, I remember seeing the Phantom, and I love that sort of thing. And the Shadow and Zorro. Hopefully, someone does a Zorro soon.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I really thought NECA brought it hard, from what I saw.
Yeah,
Spin Masters had some cool stuff, but I'm just not interested in that size. But I like what they're doing. At least they're being innovative.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But any other things?
I think that's about it, really. I think there's some pretty cool stuff. I think McFarlane generally, along with actually Mezco, I think were my favourite stuff. Really wasn't that bowled away by DC Directionless. So yeah. But I'd probably give it to McFarlane just because of that Arkham Asylum line. I think they look great.
Yeah, I really like the fact that McFarlane and NECA had so many different variations of stuff on display. It wasn't a few things like, oh, trust us, we're going to get better. It's like, no, look at all the stuff they have coming, and this is just a taste. And look at all the figures they've already released so far. How many has DC Collectibles? None. Like, we're just, what are they doing over there? Why are they paying them? What are they doing?
Yeah, exactly. And
they're making statues. Are they just doing concept art all the time?
Yeah, like, have it on good. Have it on a good word that there's going to be more Batman stuff from Todd McFarlane as well coming up later this year. So that's exciting. Yeah.
And for those of you that don't believe us, that people send us these hints and stuff, you could just go look at my story again.
Yeah.
So I believe anything that Scott's telling me. Everything he said too. So everything you mentioned about the leaks too when they first came out has come true.
Yeah, that's it. I'm looking forward to seeing what McFarlane are going to do, and I hope they get all that stuff up for pre-order pretty soon, and just show that Harley, like you said. Hope they show that soon.
I mean, as much as people don't like that movie, and I think a lot of it was on politics and things that were said before the movie was released, I actually enjoyed the movie. So
yeah, same.
I hope there's figures for it. Especially a Black Mask, because those are expensive aftermarket.
Oh, Black Mask can be amazing, yeah.
And he comes with a few faces. No Joker figure. That's the one thing I was disappointed. No 7-inch or 6-inch Joker figure.
Very strange, isn't it, that no one has done a Joker figure? Really, really weird.
There must be something against it, or there has to be some kind of Jack Nicholson thing where his likeness is a lot or something, because
perhaps so.
It's automatically printing money because that guy's $1 billion Oscar movie. You're not going to make one figure.
It is strange, isn't it? Like all the Mafex, Heath Ledger stuff and all that is just completely non-existent everywhere. And I do find it very weird. I say it must be a copyright thing. It has to be, sure.
It's gotta be.
Can't be any.
If anyone knows, send us a message.
Yeah, genuinely, do get in touch because it would be fascinating to know.
Yes.
Or leave a comment down below because genuinely would be fascinating to know if it actually is for that reason or not. So.
and we'll shout you out if that's what you want.
Yeah.
Now, any final things before we do the figure of the week?
Yeah, finally had a bit of a reshuffle around in this room. It was long overdue, been clearing out some old crap. So
is it when you were doing your theme, the unused figure?
Genuinely, yes, it was. I was looking at forgotten figures and thought, hang on a minute, I've got an entire room full of forgotten figures. So decided to have a bit of a reshuffle around and move some.
If you're watching on YouTube, you're getting a treat. If you're listening, sorry.
decided to move some stuff around. So I've moved open this cabinet very, very carefully. Really do not want to destroy anything. Just had a bit of a move around here, and yeah.
I love seeing how people set up their collections. You could see not only their favorite figures or the things that have the most impact on them, but it's just cool seeing the way they do it.
I used to have the Ninja Turtle figures in the middle, but decided to put the BTAS stuff there now because
that's like the standards on that top shelf. That's perfect.
Down below, I've gone for an Arkham Knight themed shelf now. The Hot Toys Batman at the back, a few other stuff at the front.
Professor Pig, Mattel Alfred.
Do you know, he was one of the characters I'd love to see them make a New Adventures animated Professor Pig. I think
that would be quite gruesome
if that's what they do. This is all stuff I've shown before, but it's the Arkham City Asylum shelf.
That's an expensive shelf.
And then the Origins shelf.
Look at that.
I've moved all the Justice League figures to stand up on the top shelf now, right up there.
Dun,
The room on purpose, next to the DCEU shelf, which is it's a very lonely shelf. They're waiting for the Schneider cut, all of them, but these figures are
Even the order is perfect.
Comfortably my favourite, and they're not coming off the end, but we cut him out of this. He doesn't make the Scott cut.
Yeah, don't be leaving comments saying that's not canon.
Yeah, absolutely, quite right. But apart from that is pretty much it for me. How about you?
Which, well, not much. I mean, I've just been enjoying the new McFarlane figures. I've been enjoying all the new stuff that we've seen. I've been enjoying the fact that getting to see your pictures posted with new stuff. That's always enjoyable.
How have you been finding the episode pictures this time round?
I feel like, honestly, it's really the most challenging.
Yeah.
I really do feel that way. And there's some ones I look at and think, why? I don't even want to watch it, but it gets rough watching it. But then at the end, like we talked about, I end up enjoying it. But it is a fun something to wake up to and have a challenge to wrestle with. So it is enjoyable.
Yeah. I think it's funny, like we sort of with BTAS, it starts off on fire and then it just sort of wanes out a little bit and then it gets brilliant again through the middle, and then you go for that lull again with episodes and then it goes back
with all the animal episodes.
Yeah, that's so true. That is actually.
This is a werewolf. This is a werecat. This is
no, you have like 3 or 4 episodes where it's just no main villains or anything, which is fine. They've got to make their own thing, but yeah, it does kind of drag a little bit towards the middle.
But the terrible trio has never been so aptly named.
Oh man, it's so true.
But I think everyone could guess my figure of the week.
Yes, what is it going to be?
Hellbat.
No way. Yeah.
How could it be?
Understandable.
Yeah, and it's just I like the big discovery that you could take these heads off without fear of disconnecting them from a joint or anything with some hot water. So I like the options that this comes with. And he's flying off the shelf, so if you see him, you better grab him.
Yeah, he's going to be a valuable figure. I think that one in years to come. He's an amazing figure.
And I would recommend Amazon over GameStop. Sorry, GameStop.
Yeah. I know. Don't blame me for Amazon are often these days the best with these things, and eBay as well.
Now, what do we got here? There's a lot of choices.
Difficult, but I'm going to go for a figure that was in last week's theme. So I'm going to go for the Mattel Batman figure. I have no idea what line he's from. Again, someone wants to comment. I can't remember what line he's from.
That's such a good joint, that middle part, the ab
crunch.
It
is, yeah. No, it really is. Like, he's an amazing figure, and The accessories he comes with are brilliant as well. It's got a grapple gun and a batarang, but and some bat cuffs as well, which is fantastic. But yeah, he's a brilliant figure. I love the colours, very Hush inspired, very comic book looking figure, and
he looks better than the new McFarlane version.
Yeah, he's got some really nice. You can't really see it, but he's got some really nice shading on the arms, on the chest.
He's got some dark wash.
Yeah, where it looks battle damaged, and the cape's amazing as well. I saw some people criticising him in the comments. I find that pretty hard to take because he's an amazing figure. He really is. Love this figure, so he's my figure of the week.
You got nothing better to do, people?
Yeah.
You take a picture that looks that brilliant, and then you can say something. Here's the one. I'll give you a hint on the picture I'm posting next, and it's because these things seem to be in style right now.
Oh, nice.
Little collar. Little,
I like that. Where did you get that collar from?
White Knight. This is from an old Shadow figure because I love those old Popey. I had a Phantom.
That looks really good, actually. That actually looks really cool.
I'm hoping. I was hoping you'd say that because I didn't know whether or not to post. But okay, now I'll try.
Really good. You try it on the New Adventures Batman as well. Does it look good on that?
Let's look. Where is that guy? Oh, here he is.
This is some live custom work going on here. I think it looks pretty cool.
All right.
It looks all right. I do prefer it on the animated one, though. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, it just sits up a little bit.
It's the cape, isn't it? Like it ends where the cape ends as well on the animated one.
Oh, that's not. Where's the Justice League? All
right. Hey, this might look good.
Sitting up a little bit. All right.
That's not too bad. I think the animated original is the best, though, isn't it?
Which makes sense because it's supposed to be 0 year.
Yeah, true.
All right. Well.
Yeah, that's a cracking idea, and yes, for anybody,
next post.
Yeah, absolutely, that's true, and for anyone watching, you'll be very excited to see that figure, and anyone listening as well. The animated Batman is definitely the one to go for that collar, and and also I enjoy the fact that everyone listening into this hasn't had to pay for the service of it, which is something I noticed.
Oh yeah, you put that in a story. What was? Give us. Please tell me what that is.
I mean, this is one of the biggest jokes I have ever seen. I've seen a lot of shameless things on Instagram, but for me, this is one of the most ridiculous things I've ever seen. This is a guy, a very well-known guy. People will know exactly what I'm on about. Who wants us to pay $9 for the privilege of listening to his podcast? Anybody who pays that, you are a blithering idiot.
What?
You are a blithering idiot. He started a Patreon because he wants to have his own editor for a podcast, which is embarrassing to start with. You make a podcast. I'm very, very lucky to work with you because you work really hard on editing these episodes, and so I'm incredibly lucky to have someone like you with this. But just don't do a podcast if you haven't got time to edit it yourself. It's embarrassing. You don't need an editor for a podcast. You're not working in Hollywood.
How much cutaways are you doing? How much transitions? Like what kind of podcast is this?
Just ridiculous. I mean, this guy started his own page of sharing Mezco posts, and then now has decided to change that to just 112 posts. And I don't understand. You've basically just used people's awesome Mezco pictures. A lot of these people I know. That guy's obviously very angry with him as well. I'm going past on the motorbike, but yeah, so I just think it's ridiculous. You've used loads of Mezco photographers.
Okay, now I think I know who you're talking about.
To grow your popularity, and then decide to open up your page. Now you've got a good following, and acts like you're some sort of patron of the community. No, just fuck off, man. It's a load of shit. It's an absolute load of shit, and this is a direct quote from the patron. He started creating a network in the expanding world of toy photography. Like, no.
First of all, it's not even your original idea.
It's not your original.
Ever do it. And really also, well, not that that's a big deal, but also the fact that you're trying to charge people and act like you're doing a big service. You're trying to swindle people and get paid to do nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we've mentioned it before about Page's sort of starting on one thing, then they change their name and move into something else, and it's incredibly frustrating and stupid because they just use other people's. They've used these pages that use other people's hard work to grow their own popularity, and then start selling their merchandise and selling their.
That's shameless.
And that really, really pisses me off.
That's
it
shameless.
Really annoys me. It's so frustrating. Yeah,
that's basically stealing and lying.
It is. So yeah, I mean, like I say, this isn't a dig against someone else's podcast. This is a dig against someone clearly using other people's popularity for their own gain. And I find that incredibly frustrating. I really do. And that's not right. And it needs to be called out where it's seen. I think it's important.
Don't be a person that pays that money, people. Do not pay that guy.
Don't pay $9.
The guy's a jerk too. We reached out to him to try to have him on when we thought he was decent, and he just ignored us. So he's a jerk.
Yeah,
I have no problem saying it.
That's it. And unfortunately, that's the way it is.
Well, I'm glad we could end on a high.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I had no idea. Because I just don't follow that guy. Because after a while, I can't do this. So I'm not aware. But dang, that's incredible. That even someone would have the gall to do.
It's just stupid, like charging people to listen to a podcast.
You could go on Fiverr and pay $5 to have someone edit something if you really. It's not a big deal. You're like, that's hilarious. All right.
I don't think you need to. Podcast shouldn't be. I don't think podcasts should really be edited. I think the whole fun of a podcast is it's live and it's there. I don't want to listen to a boring, watered down, edited professional podcast. I like the whole sort of off the cuff about it, which brings us on to Lewis's new podcast, which is Crisis on Infinite Podcasts, as they'll put it. No, it's Podcast on Infinite Earths. They'll get that joke. The listeners may not necessarily do, but Lewis and Tom and other Tom will get that joke. But go and check it out because it's freaking hilarious. I had a blast listening to it. Just talking about all the latest media stuff, and they review old movies like Iron Man, and they've reviewed Man of Steel. So it was really good fun listening to it. So yeah, go and check that out as well. I always like to give a shout out to fellow podcasts that are doing great stuff, and also ones that aren't.
Well, we would love if he'd come on and plug it himself, but this is okay.
Yes, definitely.
So hopefully we do have him on soon, but we will have a guest. Don't know when, don't know who, but
yes,
that's part of the fun for us too. The surprise.
Absolutely.
And we usually end up being surprised by how much we enjoyed the guest. So
definitely.
Thank you guys again for listening. Thank you guys again for watching. This was a podcast I was really looking forward to because it's always fun seeing all the new reveals and slighting some companies, but also giving due praise to those that deserve it and actually come prepared and have a battle plan. So we hope you guys enjoyed. And again, if you're not following Scott, he's at the Batfan. I'm at Batman Figs. And thank you for listening.